Our mission, Helping Parents Heal, is a nonprofit organization dedicated to assisting bereaved parents to become shining light parents by providing support and resources to aid in the healing process. We go a step beyond other groups by allowing the open discussion of spiritual experiences and evidence for the afterlife in a non-dogmatic way. Affiliate groups welcome everyone, regardless of religious or non-religious background. Attendance today at this meeting is voluntary, and we are here for the benefit of learning from and sharing with other parents whose child has passed away. It is understood that our discussions are intended to be confidential and not designed to replace traditional therapy or spiritual counseling. However, these Zoom meetings are helpful to parents all around the world, and they are posted on YouTube so that affiliate members who are not able to attend this meeting live can also watch. Helping Parents Heal offers a wide variety of speakers to allow parents to be informed about many possible ways to heal, to connect with their children, and to learn about the afterlife. The views expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect those of Helping Parents Heal, and we ask that you take from their presentations whatever may benefit you personally. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Pauline. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, we are thrilled that Pauline is here, and she has a very, very short bio that I would like to just read very quickly so that you guys can know a little bit about her if you haven't already had the wonderful experience of being in one of these gallery readings with her. Pauline has been touched with the gift of clairvoyance since the age of 12 years. Her psychic abilities have developed further over the years, and she now works as an international clairvoyant and medium. She travels across Great Britain and Europe, giving private readings and spiritual healing. Her work also involves offering spiritual teaching. Her greatest pleasure is witnessing the joy on people's faces after offering guidance and delivering messages from their loved ones in spirit to help people on their journeys through life. So as I said, that's a very short bio. It's beautiful. And we are all very, very grateful to have Pauline here. So please join me in welcoming Pauline Mason. Welcome, Pauline.
Welcome. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. I have missed you all. I have missed you. I always take notes as I'm waiting to come on. So I've already got some youngsters drawing close. And the first one to come in was a male. And I feel there was either a fight or he got involved in but there seems to be a number of people there. And I know he sustained a head injury and a chest injury. But it wasn't his fault. That's all he kept saying to me. It wasn't my fault. But he was so badly hurt during this period of time that he didn't recover from it. So let's just run over this again. So he's a male. He got into a fight, which I feel wasn't his fault. But I see the crowd of youngsters around him. So I feel they were picking on him. And chest injuries, head injuries, and he says it wasn't his fault. So does anybody understand this young man that's come in straight away? And he came about an hour ago.
So we have Justine saying everything but the chest so far. So I don't know if that would, but we don't have anyone else who's have people from all over though, Switzerland, Australia.
Would you like to talk to Justine?
Yes,
Pauline,
please.
or
yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. And if anybody else understands it as I go through it.
Okay, so I've asked her to unmute. Justine, can you speak, please?
Yes. Hi, Pauline.
Hi, Justine. So you understand that he got involved in a fight?
It was an altercation, yes.
Yeah. And he sustained head injuries?
Yes.
But he also talked about a chest injury.
That's the one I can't take. I can't take chest.
Okay. And he said it wasn't his fault.
Correct.
You understand that? Okay. But he would have because of the injuries he sustained, it was fatal.
Correct.
Okay. And it also feels wrong place, wrong time. I don't know if he wasn't where he should be. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Right, okay, so everything else is right. So I just need to touch here on the chest. Was there any knife involved in any of this?
Not a knife.
Right, because I suddenly saw the flash of a knife as well. But I'm going to leave that because sometimes, as we know, they piggyback on top. So I'm going to work with this. And I want actually he was really gentle, such a gentle soul. Yeah, okay. Try and take a big deep breath, just a big deep breath. Come with me. That's it.
I just asked him to come through. I just asked him.
Just come with me on the journey. And he's very emotional as he comes in. He had so much going on in his life. There was so much for him to do, and then this happened, and it just feels like a sudden bang into my chest. So whether this was connecting with his heart or whatever it was, but I know there was pain across this area that he's trying to tell me. But he comes very, very close, and he wants to say to you that it really wasn't his fault, that he tried everything within his power. He even tried to reason with them. Did they want to take something of his? Was this anything to do with shoes? Did they want his shoes?
Not shoes. They didn't want his shoes.
Okay, but they wanted something of his, and even when I feel that he had said take it, but he did put up a good fight here. They were terrible, and he says that you mustn't go back to that place and remember that. You're to remember him as the wonderful boy that he is, not was, that he is. And I feel he's around you a lot. I feel he's quite mischievous in the things he gets up to with you. I want to be putting the radio on. I want to be doing all sorts of strange things, but he says he won't go away. So don't ever feel lost or alone, because he stands with you all the time. He gives me the month of June. Does that mean anything to you? June. That would be an anniversary, a birthday, or a passing in June.
Don't know about June, but probably.
Okay, June is important. It's not a name in the family.
There's a Joan in heaven with him, if that's close.
Okay, that's close, but I never make things fit because I don't want to do it. But he's quite funny. Was he funny? He's quite funny, and he's put on angel wings. You know, the type the kids put on when they're going to be angels at Christmas parties and stuff like that. He's put them on, but he says, you know, there is no reason. We cannot question why this happens. It happens, and he said that the whole family has been completely devastated by it. But he said, know that he didn't suffer. That's something I need to say to you. It's almost as if I'm blacking out. I'm blacking out now. He said, I'd tell her I didn't suffer and tell her that. And have you kept a jumper of his? A jumper? I want a piece of clothing, and I want to keep smelling it.
Yes.
Yeah, you understand that? I feel there's little scribbler bits of paper that you've got that he's written, or there's been notes, stuff like that you've kept. And I feel that he had a lot of friends, an awful lot of friends. But it feels as if he had a lot of friends, and they were going to try and do something about this situation that occurred here. I feel they did. I feel they did have a go at this. And he talks about, you know, they have to live with what they did. They have to live with it. But were there prison sentences or people put away during the course of this?
The sentencing is supposed to be this Friday, and it just got postponed.
Okay. There will be strong consequences. He says that, and I've just heard him shout, "Chris."
That's the killer.
Okay. Don't cry, sweetheart. Don't cry. You'll make me cry.
Sorry.
You make me cry. So important.
I've been on these calls for 3 years, and I've never gotten a reading, and so I just happened to tell him, please come through, and I'm the first one. It's a miracle.
Okay. All right. I'm going to leave that love with you. Bless you. And I hope it all goes well.
Thank you so much.
Let that weight come off your heart. God bless.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, very welcome. Okay, how do I get back to gallery? There it is up there. Right, okay. So the next thing that came in was a road accident. But I feel somebody stepped off of a sidewalk. We call them pavements, but I feel somebody stepped off a sidewalk. I don't know if this caused the accident or was involved in the accident, but that's all I got. So I don't know if anybody understands any of that. This was a fatality. Right, so I've got something here at the bottom. Somebody was struck by a train from Cheryl, I don't know, as a pedestrian. I got it actually as a road accident. So do you have trains on roads? Is that what this?
They can go across roads.
Right. Okay. And and this youngster stepped off. Where was this lady? It was a
crossing. Do you want to speak to her?
Does anybody else understand? If not, then let me speak to her.
Do you see anything, Elizabeth?
I don't see anything else. It looks like maybe this is the only one. So
Okay.
we go ahead.
I'll ask Cheryl to unmute.
Okay, Cheryl, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't see you. Why can't I see you?
Oh, I've got my video on. I see myself.
Oh, I can see you, Cheryl. I can see you. Got dark hair. Lovely. All right. So she stepped off. She just stepped off. And that was a fatality.
Yeah, she didn't see it. I mean, she was facing the wrong direction and not paying attention. And
okay. Now, again, she feels, did she like to dance? Because she's dancing her way in here.
yes, she would listen to music loudly with her headphones and dance around the basement in circles.
Yeah, I can see it. She's dancing, dancing, dancing for all she's worth. And again, these kids are so full of life, so much fun. Did she have some sort of a backpack on that day or something to do with a bag on her back?
Usually, yes. I mean, I couldn't bear to read the report. So.
No, that's fine. I don't want you to go there because she doesn't want you to go there. But she reaches out, and I know that she's been reaching out a lot to you. Do you have a fruit tree in the garden? I'll tell you why I'm asking you this, because she shows me herself picking an apple and giving it to you. You don't understand the fruit.
I ate an apple for lunch today.
Ate an apple for lunch, right? That'll do me. Okay, but I feel again this is a youngster that had, her head was full of stuff, and I feel I can see you shouting after her, you know, almost wanting to give her a piece of toast to take because she's got too much going on and she's never got time to sit still. That's the energy that she feels for me. Yeah, you understand that? Could she draw or sketch?
She was an amazing artist. She drew or sketch. She did that all the time.
Yeah, that's all I need just to clarify this. So let's get her really close. And as she comes bouncing in, and she says that it took you a long time to move things around in her room. But she says whether you move them, she's there with you a lot. Did you have a swing in the garden when she was younger? She shows me a swing.
Not in the garden, but it's interesting. A really dear friend of hers just posted a video of them on swings on Facebook when they were young.
That's fine. I'm just looking for a connection here. That's fine. She's a very evidential girl, and I feel that she liked to do things correctly, but she was in such a rush to go through life that she had too many things going on. She says too many things going on. Very beautiful, very, very pretty, very pretty. And I'm wanting to touch her hair, but I feel she touches your hair.
I have her hair here with me.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to say, but never mind, you've said it. But I know hair was important, and I feel when she was younger, she was a girly girl, but as she got older, the girly side stepped back a bit, and she was more into what we would call jeans and trainers, running shoes, call them whatever you want to call them. But she had a soft side to her, and she must have crayoned you when she was younger, a heart with "I love you" written in it. And they are the sort of things that the kids bring home from school, and you would have had it on a fridge or somewhere, because she shows me that. She feels as if she was quite. Was there anything going on with her weight?
She had an eating disorder. She struggled a lot with that.
Yeah,
but
I can understand that. Yeah,
she had it under control pretty much.
Yeah, she did, because she's drawn really close to me now, and I feel that she hid it well, but you people would know this, but she got it to a level where it was controllable, so I'm quite happy with that. But this insecurity about how she looked, she had no need to be insecure. She was beautiful. Absolutely.
Beautiful. She was beautiful.
Absolutely stunning. Do we have a name like Tammy around?
Tammy. I can't.
I'm going to leave that name with you, because I've just heard her whisper it to me. Tammy or Tamazin, Tammy, that sort of name comes around. She shows me now palm trees. So do you live somewhere hot?
We have a second home in Florida. Right,
that'll do me. Palm trees, thank you. And straight away comes Mickey Mouse, so I know you must have gone there with her.
We did.
Done all that. And did she ever do, like, I don't know if it's cheerleading or marching or something?
No.
Because she puts one of those top hats on with a peak on it, and it's blue, and she's got little boots on, and she's marching. I feel this was when she was younger.
She played violin.
Didn't march. But that's you know, she just says, "No, I'm there. No, I'm there." You've heard tapping. You've heard tapping. Now, if you hear that, do it back, because that's their way of communicating, and that comes straight from the Fox sisters, how spiritualism started, by the rappings. So if you hear it, you might hear it tomorrow, because now she's told me, just tap on something back. Just tap back to her. All right. She says, tell her I love her, I love you, I love you. And the memories that she's left you are just numerous memories. But she keeps taking me to the palm trees. So this place in Florida must have been quite special to her.
I'm wondering if it's something else. We took a trip across the country when I moved to Oregon, and we were in California, and that was really meaningful, driving up the coast. So I'm not sure if it's the Florida, but we went from Florida to.
Okay, if you understand it, however they show it to me, then I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking about it. Right.
She's now shown me herself sitting up. We call them at a work surface. So in your kitchen, you would sit up on a stool, and there's some sort of cake baking gone on, but she would have liked to have had the bowl and the spoon to eat them. Just simple things like that. But where did you take her where there was snow?
Every year on my birthday, we'd go skiing.
Okay.
We lived in Michigan, so it was always snowy in the winter there. But
right. She just throws snowballs. So I know I have to give you that as well. Just wants to throw snowballs, which is fun. I'm going to leave her love with you. I'm so glad that you could understand what I was saying, and thank you very much for working with me. God bless.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Okay, I need to get back to gallery. Right, okay. The next one I have here on my list was a female, and she's very much like Irene's daughter. So I need a female that would have had, but she's got dark hair, where I know Irene's daughter was fair-haired. But I want somebody that would understand she was ill, and there was bloods problems, which was lungs as well, a reoccurring weakness in her, and this was a condition that she lost her battle with it, because it took her to the other side. So she's female. I want brownish coloured hair. The lungs were involved, bloods were involved, reoccurring weakness. There's somebody there that can't take the dark hair again. Dark hair.
Let's see. Jackie is saying my daughter had PAH. Is your daughter dark haired? Let's see. My daughter passed from cancer.
Yes. Jackie says yes. Yes. So Jackie, did your daughter have dark hair?
Yeah, she just said that. Okay. Daryl and Kelly also said that their daughter had brown hair, but the important thing is being able to also take the other things. Tanya is saying my daughter has been very sick, weakens, dark hair. Let's see. Jane is saying dark hair, lungs disease, sick and died from pulmonary hypertension. Okay. Sounds like there are a lot of people that are taking.
Right. So let's really get into this, so I can find. I definitely want dark hair, brown hair. I definitely want the lungs involved, whether there were blood clots coming in there. They found this with the bloods. I do feel it was a cancerous condition. It was terminal, and a reoccurring weakness. She would get a little bit better, and then she'd fall back again. But this girl fought and fought and fought to try and survive this.
So let's see, we have a few who can take things, but not the dark hair. Let's see, Jane is saying over 6 years battling metastatic
cancer. Yeah.
Cancer.
So,
What color was her hair?
For Jane, was her hair dark then? Lost mobility before passing, Jane.
dark hair, lungs disease, Jane said.
Okay, let's maybe
Okay.
unmute Jane.
I definitely need the dark hair.
Yeah.
Okay. I've asked Jane to unmute.
Okay, good.
Hi,
Can you
Jane.
hear
Can
me?
you speak? There you
Yeah,
are.
can you hear me? Can
Hi,
you hear
Jane.
me?
Hi,
Huh?
Jane. Yes, I can
Hi.
hear
Yes.
you. So let me just run it past you again. She had dark hair, brown hair.
Yeah, her hair was dark naturally. She did dye it. I mean, after she lost her hair and it came back, she dyed it several different
That's
colors. Yeah.
And lungs and bloods.
Yes, I mean, her primary cancer was a rare form of bone, but it had, by the time it was found, it had already metastasized into her lungs. So she had battled lung cancer for a long time.
Okay. Yeah. And did they find this through blood testing?
Well, yes. I mean, it went. Yes, I mean, it's a long story. She went undiagnosed for a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And this recurring weakness. Did her legs ever give out on her?
Yes, they did.
Right, because that was the final thing that I needed to come in with this and say that to you. Her legs would have given out on her. Yeah. She was what I'm feeling for her as she comes nearer to me. She shows me in her younger days, was she a bit of, we call it in England, a tomboy, climbed trees, got up to all sorts of stuff. I don't want a little fragile thing.
Yeah, no, she was not fragile. No, she was.
But would have got up to all sorts of different things. And then as she started to grow and she started to mature, then I feel this got hold of her, and it's this reoccurring weakness, like she would get up and she would be okay, and then she'd suddenly be tired. Was there any problems with her vision, with bright light or anything like that?
Yes, actually, it all started with horrible, like episodic, terrible headaches.
Migraine, we call that. Yeah.
And then, at school, she couldn't deal with bright lights and
Oh,
some of the
that's
equipment
fine.
they were
That's-
using.
yeah. That feels really quite strong. Okay, so let's work this. But she fought this really hard,
She did.
and I feel it was her strength, her character,
Yes.
that kept her here with us longer.
Yeah.
And she was never ever going to give up. This was not a girl that gave up on anything. She never gave up.
No, she was, they called her the tank. Yeah.
And I feel she liked to get things in order. So did she sort of sort things out? Because I feel that she knew the outcome of this, but I feel she would have sort of said, I want that for that and something else for somebody else. I feel she planned things.
Well, mostly for her friends. And she wanted to make sure we had who was going to notify them if she died. Yeah.
Right.
And so she set that up with us. Yeah.
Okay. And she shows me a clock with the number 12 on it.
Mhm.
So I don't know if 12 was in any time near her passing.
Well, actually, yeah, it was 7 months ago today, and it was 1:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel as she comes in, she doesn't want you to have that memory of that time of her life. She wants to try and get that away from you, and to bring you into the fun times that you had with her. Very strong will, very strong one. Would argue with you.
Yes.
I don't want nasty arguing.
Yeah.
It might be, you should really go to bed now. I'm not going to bed yet. I don't want to go to bed. It was sort of fun, and you would smile and turn your head so she couldn't see that you were actually laughing at what she was saying. But she was funny. She was funny too. Lots and lots of friends. Lots and lots of friends.
Yes.
And would her hair have suffered with this? Because I suddenly see the hair thin, very thin.
Well, I mean, she had chemo, so she lost all her hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's just showing me the different stages. But she would have laughed at things. She would have laughed at things. And suddenly I'm feeling cold. So would she have felt the cold?
She loved winter.
Yeah.
I mean, she loved, never wore coats, and we live in the Northeast,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know where the Northeast is. So,
well, like New England. So.
Oh, that's a pretty time. Very pretty place. But did she go sledging? Because she's got a sledge now. Do you call them sledges?
You mean like sleds or coasters? I mean, she did when she was little.
Yeah, the kids would get on them and go down hills on them.
Yeah, a bit. Yeah.
But now she talks about balance, and I feel that a balance was affected.
Well, yes, because towards the end, I mean, she was paralyzed for the last 2 months of her life.
Okay.
Yeah. And her legs just gave out.
Yeah, the legs gave out, but she shows me the spinal column as well, and there was something going on around that.
Yes, it was all, she had recurrences, and I mean, she had tumors everywhere. Yeah, it was eaten away.
But she comes in here today to hopefully to bring you some hope that you did everything within your power to give her a good life, and she thanks you for that.
Yeah, I'm trying.
She will stay with you. They never go far. Kids never go far. But I do feel, is there sort of have you got somewhere in the garden? Have you got a garden? Have you got somewhere a memorial to her, something to her in that garden?
No, not really. Well,
You haven't
no,
planted something?
no, no.
Okay.
No.
Have you got a pet that's buried in the garden?
Yes.
Right. Is there a
A
memorial?
few.
Yeah. Is there a little plaque for a pet?
Okay, I'll just tell you, because less than a month before she died, one of her cats died. And we're like, oh my gosh, she was grieving her cat. And so we had to bury the cat in the garden. And that's when, well, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually in the garden, in our
In the
backyard.
garden.
Yeah.
That's what she's trying to get at. There's something in the garden that's of a memory to her, and that's what she wants. That's what she wants to give you.
Yeah, that was for Tibby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave that love with you.
Okay.
Do you have things like seesaws? Do you know what seesaws are?
Yes.
You see one kid, one.
Yes.
She shows me that going on as well. So a little memory to leave you with.
Okay. No, that's I forgot about that. She loved them when she was little. Yeah.
And
Thank you.
did she have a red scarf and a red hat?
She liked red. She didn't wear hats and scarves or coats. So
this
no.
is like a pom-pom hat, a red pom-pom hat and a scarf. But if this isn't her, then it's another kiddie coming in.
Okay.
All right. So
yeah.
I'm going to leave that love with you.
Okay.
Bless you. And
thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this red pom-pom hat and scarf out. Can anybody understand that? It's a little girl. She was fair. I don't see her as very old, 5, 6, something like that. But it's the red pom-pom hat, what we call pom-pom hats in England, and a red scarf. Does anybody understand that? Yeah, there's somebody here, a red pom-pom hat, red scarf, 5 or 6. Is that anybody? Or no, that was Elizabeth putting it out.
That's me. I'm just typing it in here so that people see it. Sorry. Let's see. I don't think that we're getting any response. Oh, she's saying Cheryl, who you already spoke to, says that probably maybe piggybacking Meg, who you picked up on, who actually passed because of a train, had a red heart scarf and hat as well.
Okay.
So let's see. Sarah is saying my daughter wore a cupcake hat with a red top on it. I've never heard of a cupcake hat. That sounds.
No, I don't know what a cupcake hat, but she's about 5 or 6. This youngster running about here.
Okay, so 5 or 6. Does anyone have a 5 or 6-year-old little girl who has a red scarf, red hat with a pom-pom on it? Let's see. Jackie is saying 4 years.
And somebody else said a tiny 7-year-old. And was there any problems with her legs? Because she seems to have a funny way of walking. I don't know what she's trying to show me here. Whether there was a problem with her legs.
Okay, so Jackie is saying 4 years. Sarah is saying 7. And I don't know if either of them, well, Sarah's saying that she had a cupcake hat with a red top on it. So Jackie is saying she would get fatigued while walking.
Right,
So
not moving her legs normally. That's what I wanted to say. But she's not saying a lot else, this little one. But I feel this was a medical condition that took her over. I don't feel it was an accident. I don't feel anything of the sort.
okay. So let's see. Tanya's saying her daughter had problems with her legs. Is she 5 to 6? And does she have a red hat and a scarf? Sarah's saying my daughter needed help walking during cancer treatment. So Sarah is the one who had the red cupcake hat. She's 7. Maybe sounds like this might be who you're looking for.
Okay, yes. Can I work with
Maybe
this?
go ahead and
Yes, I asked Sarah to unmute.
okay, thank you so much. Let's see, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi. How
Hi,
are you?
Sarah. Hi. So,
Hi.
and so this walk was strange, but she didn't always walk like that.
No, right.
She didn't always walk like that. I feel this was something that happened, but I feel this was a medical condition as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Did she suffer nosebleeds ever?
Yes.
That's fine. I'm just trying to connect it all, bring it all together. But I want. She's quite playful. She's quite funny as she comes in. Would she have liked lots of? I'm not sure if these are teddy bears or dolls that she's trying to hold up and show me.
Yeah, she had a bunch of little dog dolls.
Little dog dolls. Okay, that's fine. And did any of these?
They look like teddy bears.
They look like teddy bears. And did any of these go into her coffin?
The hat she was wearing did,
Right.
and but not the little bears. Or
Okay.
they look like little teddy bear dogs.
Right. Okay.
But she did take it everywhere with her. Went through her treatment with her.
Okay. I feel as she comes in that she was quite a contented little girl, because I can see her just sitting and playing, and you would have had to check on her because she was quiet.
She played for hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes she was quiet, but
yeah.
she would play for hours.
Yeah, she would. And she's showing me, we call them magazines. Did she look at books or magazines? She's showing me turning the pages.
She was looking at a lot of like little Lego magazines to
Right,
build.
that's fine. Yeah, okay. Christmas time was a fun time. It is for all kids. But I feel that she would have liked to have made lists of what she thought she might like to have.
Yes.
But she was a pickle as well. A pickle is in English terminology full of devilment when she wanted to be. But until she became ill, she had a lot of energy. But I feel this started with a fatigue. You could see a fatigue coming around her.
Yes.
And she says two. Do we have twins in the family, or are there?
There's not twins, but 2 siblings.
2, that'll do me. She just said two. And I'm now seeing a different coloured hair. So do any of these siblings have curly hair?
Yes, wavy.
Right, that's fine, because I'm just trying to look at what she's showing me. But I can see her in the water, splashing in the water now. So I feel bath time, or whatever it is that you were doing with her, she would have liked that. She liked pretty things, and I feel sparkly lights and things, they would draw her. She would like that. But
lots of sparkle.
Did she ever, because underneath this I got horse riding, did she ever like horses or have any connection with horses?
She loved unicorns.
Okay. My students tease me about unicorns. Okay, so I'll accept this. And I just said, so tell me something else. And she said cherry, and then she said cherry pie. But what I'm looking at is something like a Bakewell tart, which has a white icing on the top with a cherry on the top.
She would make little pies and things out of clay with cherries on top. And
okay, that's fine. And now she takes me to her feet. But was there any time that she wanted to do ballet or that type of dancing?
Yeah, ballet all the time.
All the time. You went off then, but you're back now. So you understand that as well.
Yes.
Okay. And now I've heard her say Bobby.
Bobby?
Who's Bobby? In England, that would be Robert.
Oh, she has an uncle, Robert.
Okay. Was she close to him?
Yeah.
Okay. She just says that. But I feel when she was younger, she was thrown up in the air and caught, because I can see it happening. Thrown up in the air and caught. She hopes she'll remember the fun times. Very cuddly, would snuggle into you, would love to snuggle in, and she would have hid under the covers.
Yes, she did.
But I feel that was in your bed, and then she'd come out. But funny.
Yes. Almost every morning.
Thank you. And the last thing she shows me is a snake. So, did anybody have a snake? Is there a story about a snake?
There's a very funny story that she loved about a snake that I got. A snake surprised me, and I threw my coffee in the air, and she would tell people this funny snake story that I got scared from a snake.
Lovely evidence. That's the type of stuff I like to look for.
So funny.
I'm going to leave you smiling because I feel that's really important for you.
Thank you so much.
Bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you for working with me. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.
Thank you. It's nearly nighttime here.
Yeah. Have a wonderful evening.
Then the next thing I had written on my list before Irene came on was horse riding. So I need some kind of a horse riding accident, but I feel this person would have done, we call it dressage, where they dress up and jump and do stuff like that. I can see a female. It's not male I'm looking at, but I feel there was a bad back injury.
Okay.
Anybody understand that at all?
Not yet. Nobody's taken anything yet. Oh.
If not, I'll let that one go.
Well, Peter just said my daughter did dressage and had a back injury.
So yes, he fits.
Yep.
Daughter did dressage and did have a back injury. Why don't we unmute
Sure.
Peter, which would be wonderful.
I've asked him to unmute. Hi, Peter.
Thank you. Yeah, she
There
did
you
a lot of dressage. She won a lot of medal, a lot of blue ribbons from doing dressage, and she did hurt her back when she was learning to ride. That didn't have anything to do with her passing.
No, I didn't. I don't want that as part of her passing. I need that as a connection to her.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I need that as a connection to her. But yeah, I see the cups. We call them rosettes. You get, and she was quite good at what she did. But she moved on from that. I feel she moved on from that, and she now shows me. Let's make sure she's with you. Did she like canoes or going on the water?
Yeah, she liked paddleboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did a lot of paddleboarding.
Right, okay. She's just showing me that she's not gone to what happened to her, and I'm not too worried about that as long as I can place her. And she, there was a period in her life that she went through a quiet time. And that quiet time was a time that she was deciding on different other things she wanted to do. Now, did she ever climb? Did she ever do any form of climbing or put hiking boots on, anything like that?
We did go hiking quite a few times.
Okay, but I feel she was an all-rounder. She'd have a go at anything. Nothing phased her.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Is what I want to say. And
it's hard to think of anything she wasn't interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. But she says sudden. So was this?
Yeah, she died suddenly. We still don't know why.
Don't tell me. She just tells me suddenly. but I feel because it was so sudden, the shock of it all was just immense, and I don't feel that I don't feel people could really truly understand what had actually happened here.
Yes, that's correct.
And she's here today. Have you kept her things or a room or something, like almost like a memorial to her?
Well, I'm in her room now. She was living in a flat, if you will, and we cleared out her flat, and we have a lot of her stuff in here. We do actually have a dresser that has that has her picture on it, and flowers and different memorials around that in her room.
And then I get the word investigation. So was there an investigation of what actually happened? Don't tell me, just.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm not even sure if it was really truly sorted out.
That's correct.
But she said you're not to worry about things. And particularly, what is your Christian name?
Oh, what's her Christian name?
No, what's your Christian name?
Peter.
Peter. You're not to hold yourself responsible, she said, because it almost feels as if you want to take the blame for this.
That's correct.
But she said you mustn't, because it wasn't a fault. It wasn't a fault. And I don't know if she's playing around with me. Did she play a musical instrument?
She played the oboe a bit at high school. I think she started out playing the cello, then went to the oboe, but she didn't. Well, the clarinet, then the oboe, but she didn't really stick with any particular musical instrument.
It had strings on it, whatever she was. It looked like a violin, but I thought, you don't look like a violin girl, not at all. So she's here today. She talks about she's here today to celebrate with you. So is there a celebration around your family around the end of January into February?
Her grandmother's birthday is the 29th of this month.
Okay, so she's here to celebrate with you. And suddenly she shows me a burnt fruit cake. So who couldn't bake?
Well, I used to make fruit cake at Christmas time, but she didn't really care for it that much.
Okay.
I'm not sure she tried it, but
yeah, that's just a lovely memory for you. And the last thing she shows me is camping. Did you camp with her?
yeah, oh yes, yeah.
She was a real outdoor girl. Yeah. Suddenly I've seen a blood clot. Was there anything to do with a clot? And if not, then don't worry.
No, that's a possibility. We don't know at this point, but that yes, that would certainly be a possibility.
Okay. But and she shows me beautiful fir trees.
Well, she was into plants in general. I'm not sure so much fir trees, but she was very much into plants.
With the fir trees, I can see hills, small mountains, call them what you like, behind. So was that a memory of somewhere that she'd been?
Possibly, I think. Well, actually, she did like going with us to select Christmas trees.
Ah, okay.
And that was kind of a hilly area. But she may have. We probably went past coniferous trees in Australia and New Zealand.
Okay, that's fine. All right. And as soon as you've said Australia, I got the Indigenous people. I got the Aborigines. Did you have any dealings with the Aborigines? Did you see the cave drawings or anything like that?
Well, this morning I was looking at a book we gave her when she was little. Well, when she was a preschooler. It was actually an Aboriginal book, an Australian Aboriginal book. I was looking at that this morning.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what I want to say to you then, Peter, is know that she's around you. Know that she's around you. Thank you very much for picking up on that. That was from a little, we got a lot for you. And
Thank you very much.
you're very welcome. And the last thing she showed me, did you have a little dog, a little white dog?
A
Is it
little
white?
what, sorry?
A little dog?
Yes, she really loved her little long-haired Chihuahua, Chloe.
Okay, was it light in color?
It did have white on it, but was mainly black with
Okay.
black and tan with some white on it.
Oh, that's fine. She just shows me this little dog. Just shows me a little dog. And the last thing she gives me is a dummy. A dummy. What do you call them? Soothers? What do you call them?
Oh, pacifiers.
Pacifiers. When she was little, did you have a job to get this thing away from her?
No, she wasn't really into that. She had a friend who was into that, but
Right. As long as there was
great.
somebody that kept a dummy or pacifier, call it whatever you will. But she's laughing. I feel she was a bit of a practical joker as well.
Oh yes, yes.
Shows me stupid things like pails on top of doors. That's the sort of stuff we got up to in England. But she does come with a lot of love. The last thing she gives me, she steps back, is a cow. So did you live anywhere where there were fields of animals?
Well, she loved animals, but we didn't really live. Well, actually, my brother had a farm. I don't think there may have been cows there. I think it was more racehorses and sheep. There may have been a cow there.
No, I can't make a cow a racehorse, but that's what I saw. So, but I'm gonna leave her with you, and bless you, and thank you very, very much for working with me.
Yes, thanks very much, Pauline.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Wow, that was amazing.
All right. So, right, I've now got a girl again coming in, but I want a memory. I don't know if I'm at Disney or where I am, but we call them the carousel with the horses that go up and down. So it has to be a memory of taking her on one of these things. And she's got, I think you call it cotton candy. We call it candy floss, one of those in her hand as well. And she's going around on this merry-go-round and just having the time of her life. She says 16, 17, so I wanted to be about that age when she departed to the spirit world. But she's just showing me all of this stuff. So can anybody take the earlier bit before I can take it further with her? There's somebody there. Nicole to everyone. Can you see that, Elizabeth?
Yes.
Yes, I can. And she loved cotton candy as well. David is also saying yes. So David, you can take, let's see. So Nicole is saying her girl was 11. So I'm not sure if she means 11 when she passed. David is also saying yes. Maybe you could add a little bit of information. Let's see, I have a photo of myself holding her on the carousel, but my daughter wasn't young. Audrey, we took Audrey on. Let's see.
Has anybody got a daughter that's a memory? But I want to go towards 16, 17.
So
Yeah.
it's saying Audrey's 17, I guess, when she passed, and we shared fairy floss. Okay, so that sounds like it might be David.
Do you want me to ask him to unmute?
Pauline?
Yeah. There's a
Okay,
lot.
thank you.
So, but
Okay.
it's a memory.
David's unmuted, so I don't know if you want to speak to him.
Okay, David, where are you? Can I see you?
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, you've got no picture on.
There we go.
Oh, hi, David. So you understand that was a memory when she was younger, but I feel I know I need to go up towards 16, 17 to her passing.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Was there any form of an accident that caused this? Just give me a yes or a no.
No.
Right. Because I see her actually on the floor. I see her now.
Yes.
Does that make sense to you? She was on the
Yes.
floor. Okay. And again, this feels something that Was she suffering with some form of dizzy spells or
Occasionally.
right? Okay. And let me just clarify. Have you ever kept birds, David? Or does she like?
We did. We had an injured bird we kept for a while.
Right. Okay. Because she said, "Tell him about the bird. Tell him about the bird." All right. So this feels quite strong. Unless there's anybody else, this feels quite strong. But I just saw her on the floor, but I didn't get anything else with it. But her life. She's talking about her life. I feel she was quite a good scholar, which is school time. I feel she was quite bright.
Yes.
And I feel she was very popular too.
Yes.
Were you strict with her, young man?
I was.
My dad was very strict with me. And she would have fought against this strictness, but it was just because she cared.
Yes.
That's all it was, and she realizes that now. And anything you told her in her life that she didn't want to do, she realizes you weren't doing it to spoil her fun, you were doing it to protect her and keep her safe.
Yes.
And that's what she's here today to say. She's not going into details here of what actually happened. She's just telling me about fun times, and I feel that she'd want to have a go at anything, absolutely anything. Did she ever go out on a jet ski?
No.
Right. I'm seeing a jet ski. Is that a memory?
No.
Okay, I'm going to leave that jet ski then, and I'm just gonna pull her closer again, and she just wants you to realize that it whatever happened, it was something that you mustn't blame yourself for. I hope I've helped you.
Yes.
And there's a birthday as well, because she gives me a great big cake.
Coming up. Yeah, there is a birthday coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, she's coming with a cake to give you that. And I feel that there are cards kept. I don't know if this are birthday, Christmas cards, or whatever they are, but there's cards that have been kept.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to leave that love with you. Bless you, and thank you so much for working with me. I know it's been difficult.
Thank you, Pauline.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. Thank you. Am I all right to do another one?
I think it's okay, Irene. Maybe just one more. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
I
You
need
can't
to
say no.
I need to link into this jet ski, because I've seen this jet ski, but I see a lad on it. And I feel that he hit his head. That's the feeling I'm getting here. He hit his head, and I'm feeling he drowned, but I feel they got him out and they tried to resuscitate him, but they couldn't pull him round. He started to come round, but then he slipped back again. And the jet ski, it's almost like a vivid burgundy one. It's quite a big thing. But he's laughing and he's got a lovely face and his hair's tousled, big white teeth looking at me. And I feel his mum's here.
Okay, let's see. My son drowned and rode on jet ski when little. Okay, and then we have someone else, Donna, saying, my son drowned, but no jet ski. So the jet ski is important, though. Is that what you're saying?
That I saw the jet ski. Whether it's a memory of this jet ski, but I know there's a jet ski involved. But the lad drowned, but they tried to resuscitate him, but they couldn't get him back.
Okay.
Also, Elizabeth, Debbie Castro has her hand up, so maybe we could just, Debbie, could you please put in the chat if you can take these?
If she understands how to get to the chat box. So the chat box is down at the bottom in the middle. If you click on it, then you can write to everyone. Okay, so jet ski,
Yes.
Drowned. Okay, so let's
Okay.
try Debbie. Debbie, can you put your video on for us, please? We're going to go ahead and ask you to, and there we go.
I asked her to unmute. Can you unmute, Debbie?
She got it. I
Okay.
think she's unmuted.
Hi, Debbie. So you understand this jet ski? Was that a memory?
Yes. He went on a jet ski with my family a few times, and he ended up drowning. However, they didn't find his body for a day, so it was too late to try to resuscitate him.
Right.
And he did hit his head. Actually, I went to a medium and she said that's what hitting his head is what did him in, not the drowning.
Yeah, because he lost consciousness.
But on it, oh yeah, on his death certificate it says he drowned.
But I'm actually seeing people trying to work on him. But
oh no, they had dogs and divers and a helicopter and everybody looking for him, but it was too late.
Yeah. All right. Was he dark haired?
Yes. No, it wasn't curly. He had a little bit of wave.
Yeah. Movement. I'm a hairdresser, so I'll if you look at my hair, I'll say I had girly hair, but that feels, yeah, that feels okay. It was just the last bit that I thought I saw. I thought I saw somebody trying to work on him, but there was nothing. There was nothing there at all.
No, so that was the one thing that's not right.
Okay. I don't quite know what to say, but beautiful white teeth and this hair is just looking at me.
He just had he had braces on, and he only had them off for like a month, and his teeth were beautiful.
Yeah, his teeth are absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Yes.
I'm going to give him to you because even though there might be another one there as well, but I'm going to give him to you because he's trying so hard to come in here and want to be with you. But I know everything was done within your power and everybody's power to try and find him. But I feel he drifted. He wasn't where they thought he was. He drifted out. But he did hit his head, and that rendered him unconscious, so he couldn't come back up.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's it. And did he have a music box as a kid, or have you got a thing that you play music that's special?
He played guitar.
Now I'm going to tell you
remember.
And I don't ever lie about readings. I did get a guy stood there with a guitar. Did he play in a band or a group or something?
Yes.
It's definitely you, because that was the next thing I was going to attack, was this guy that's holding a guitar in a group. So that feels about right. I've got the last bit wrong. So, but I know he drifted. I know that, and he hit his head. But always remember, he made you laugh.
Oh yes, he sure did.
That's what I want you to hold on to. And when he was little, did he play with cars?
Yes. Oh, he was good at entertaining himself with things like that.
Little cars, I'm seeing. And a very English car. Did anybody have a Jag, or did somebody like Jaguars?
I don't know.
But don't worry if not. I've just suddenly seen a Jaguar come up, but I'm going to leave that love with you. Bless you, and thank you very much.
His anniversary is coming up in 5 days.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Then take that memory and
thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
I just have to say that we have someone in the chat box saying that her son Connor drowned in a Jaguar. So
drowned in a Jaguar. My God.
Yes. So she's saying that was piggybacking. That's pretty interesting. But I just want to tell everyone here that if you got a validation from Pauline today, we always love to be able to put these in the newsletter. So if you're willing to send me a short write-up about what happened during the validation reading and a picture of your child, it would be wonderful. And I put them in there. My email is really easy. It's just elizabeth@helpingparentsheal.org. So if you would do that, actually, I'm just going to type it into the chat box right now. That would just be so helpful to other parents, because being able to read these stories is so helpful and healing to other parents as well. So we truly appreciate all that you do, Pauline, and she's going to be coming back to speak again on the 22nd of February, just so that everyone knows the next time she'll be here. Again, it's always during the middle of the day for us here in the States, but it's the end of the day in the UK. And we always ask everyone to unmute and say thank you and goodbye before they leave. And have you done that already, Irene?
Yes, I have. And thank you, Pauline. What a great
Thank you.
afternoon. Amazing validations. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Great.
yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank you so
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.